Hey, everybody, I got some private emails that came to me asking why are some of these templates that we can get for Photoshop so expensive to do some basic compositing. So I'm going to show you that, but I'm going to share with you a source that has very reasonable backgrounds that you could use to build a composite in Photoshop, and I'm going to build one for you. So I'll start out with this right here, and I'm going to add a child to this right there. So are we ready for this? Let's do it. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, this is dedicated to photography and as a photo artist thinking creatively out of the box. I got a few emails that came into me about a video I did a long time ago about customized backgrounds that you could use for Photoshop to create some artwork, some compositing. And some people were complaining, why are these so expensive based on what I shared with them. And again, I have no affiliation with these organizations or companies that sell these and have been accumulating these things over the years. And I'm going to share one with you. And again, I have no affiliation with it, but very reasonable backgrounds that you could use for compositing. And I'm actually going to build one for you to show you. So let's dive into the program. Let's look at Photoshop right now. All right, so here in Photoshop, let's talk about the resources for backgrounds. And I'm going to have a link in the show notes on 3 different sources that I've used over the years. 2 of them are expensive. The other one, in my opinion, they're bargains, and that's what I'm going to work on. But let me show you why these other ones are a little bit on the expensive side. This is, you probably have seen this, have been following me in the past, but this is one of the high school seniors I did probably about 3 years ago. And this is a photograph of him in his parents' garage. And after we did the high school senior shoot, he's a gamer. So I showed him what I'd like to do and he got all excited. So this is him just sitting in a seat. And right here, the next image we'll take a look at, this is the finished product, and this is the background. And he's actually sitting on his own computer because he didn't like the existing TV, if you remember what a TV used to look like. So let me show you, this came from Ben Shirk, and again, the background information on this will be in the show notes on where you could find this. But this is why these are expensive. This is $149 for this background to be used in Photoshop. And also, if you catch it on sale, it'll be like $99. But still, for a lot of people, that's very expensive. And I use these because, number one, I'm making money with it. But if this is a hobby, I get it. You know, this is a lot to spend. So let's take a look at what you get for this. Right here, I'm just going to turn the subject off in the layers right there. And you can see the TV set. And Nicholas did not like being like sitting on the TV set, but you get 2 different kinds of TVs. This one on an angle and this one straight on. You can have a person standing there. You could have them sitting in a chair, do what you want to do. You don't have to use a TV. He wanted to be sitting on his computer. So what I had to do was take a photograph of his computer and then dropped it in to add to this. But here's why these things are expensive. There's a lot going on here. I'm turning this on and off. And again, I'm going to show you a source that you can get some really cool stuff very inexpensively. But let's take a look at elements right here. And if I push this down, you can see here where it says barrel. I can turn it on and off. And if I wanted to, with that selected right there where the barrel's at, grab my move tool, and you can move this around anywhere you want. In fact, let me get rid of that background fog here so we can see this. And this SWAT, I think it's number 4. Again, I can move this. Whoops, I got to be on that layer, Steven. Sorry about that. So that could be moved around. You could turn off, like, oh, I don't want number 3 there, or let's see number 5. You know, so again, we can turn these on and off. There is, where is this? Tear gas. You can see the tear gas right there. So again, with the move tool, I can relocate that. I can turn that off if I don't want it in my composite. So you can see a lot is going on here with this, and that's why these are very expensive. But I don't have time to build something like that. And it's licensed to us to be able to use to sell to high school seniors or whoever you're doing this for. But this right here is something that I got on sale for $10. And this is a project, and I'm going to build this for you, but This is the child that's right here. Let's turn this on and off. And again, this is from a certain organization. Let me share that with you. So let's go to their website. I'll show you the different backgrounds that you can actually get. And then what I'll do is I'm going to open this up and I'm going to build this from scratch to show you how to work with this. Are we ready? Let's do it. Okay, once again, this is the website. I'll have the link in the show notes for you. And this is called High Res Revolution. The author here is Tara Lesher. She has some great stuff from all different holidays and stuff. Most of the stuff is designed for kids and teenagers, but you can actually do it for adults. I'll show you some examples in a few minutes. But if you take a look at this entire library of different templates, look at the prices, $14.99. If you register with her, you're going to get stuff that's on sale for like $10. And let me go to Halloween over here. And this is one that I own and have used many times. And so this is the place we want to go to. And again, $15 is very reasonable. I'm going to show you the one that I just got not too long ago and I've used many times, but I'm going to share with you how to actually use these and build it. So let's get started. Okay, so this is one of the backgrounds from that resource that I used at a Halloween party where I was photographing everybody on a blank or like solid screen. I think it was a green screen at that time. And then here's the one I was just showing you. This is the one with the bathtub and actually dropped her in there. So you're not limited to using children in this. You can do very creative things with even adults. But let's actually work on a project from scratch. This is elementary compositing. And I love the fact that if you want to get into compositing, these templates I highly recommend. It's a little bit on the simple side. And then when you're graduating, you want to get the more complex stuff, then you might want to take a look at the other resources I shared with you where there's a lot more to it, but you're going to pay quite a bit more money for that. So let me close out of this and let's open up one of the templates here. And let's click on open. Okay, so right here, let me close this out a little bit. Let me show you how this is structured. And this is the photograph. Now, if you take a look at the background, we need to place the child in here. Now, by the way, this could be for newborns. It could be for, somebody that's 1 year old, or 5 years old, 6 years old even. The key thing is making sure that you photograph the subject almost like straight on. You don't want to be shooting down on the subject. Notice how this is shot like straight on. So I'm going to use this image here to bring it into this template. But let's take a look at the template. And again, I got this on sale for like $10. She'll run different sales on and off. So I think it's very important to just be registered with her, get on her mailing list or whatever. And then you'll get notified when things are on sale. So there's optional texture right here. I'll turn that on and off right there. There is a color toning background that we'll, again, take a look at that. Take a look at this. Let me highlight this for you. This is all cut out, formatted for you, all ready to go. And this is the background by itself over here. So if I turn this layer on and off, you really can't see nothing because it's just a cutout of that area right there. Okay, so a little bit of instructions. It says, masking, place your subject behind this layer. So I might just select the background so when I bring in my subject, it will fall above that, which will be behind this layer. Very simple to do. Okay, so number one, the photograph. Let's go back over here. This is not the right orientation. So what I need to do before I say cut this out, I'm going to go to the image drop-down menu here, and I'm going to choose image rotation, and I'm going to have this flip horizontally. So that is the correct orientation. Now what I'm going to do is go to the area of right here, or you can select subject, and I might just choose this button here to select that and see how it does. So let it render out. Takes a few seconds. Not a bad job, and I'm going to accept that. So I'm going to add a mask by coming down here to click on that. And so there is the cutout. Now, what I'm going to do on this one, because I'm thinking I might want to show part of the pillow and stuff. So what I'm going to do is select the mask here, grab my paintbrush, B for brush, or just manually go to the brush here. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Make sure I'm at 100%. It's going to be a soft edge brush. And I'm just going to come in here and, oops, got to paint in black, Steve, so undo that. Make sure I'm painting in white. And I'm going to click and drag in here. And I'm just going to bring in more of this right here. Okay, so there's my, say, cutout with added the pillow there. I'm going to come over here on the layer, click and drag it in to the tab, drop it down, let go. And notice how it fell below. If I accidentally forgot to do that and I'm up over here, you just click on the layer and drop it below. Just follow the instructions, right? Place your subject below this layer. Very easy to do. Now, obviously, it's the wrong size. So Control-T, Command-T on a Mac, to grab the free transform tool, grab one of the corners, and just resize this the way you feel it should fit in there. So maybe something like this, and maybe a little bit smaller. And I'm going to angle this. I'm going to go out here in the outer corner just to rotate that a bit and drop that down a little bit like this. Maybe about right there to reposition that. Okay, and then just, again, enter on the keyboard. So now that I place the child in there, and again, maybe a little bit too big, I don't know, but I want you to be able to see this. Now what I need to do is fix this a little bit because he just doesn't match what's going on. So I want to affect the brightness and contrast to match the image. So just a little suggestion. I'm going to go to the very top of my stack here, and I'm going to come down to down here, the Oreo cookie dipped in milk, and I'm going to choose black and white. I want to convert everything to black and white. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the layer that has the subject, which is the child right there. So I'm turning that on and off for you so you can see that. I'm going to just keep things very simple. I'm going to go to the Oreo cookie dipped in milk again, and I'm going to choose brightness and contrast. Now, when I choose that, if I go to the sliders over here in properties, it's affecting the entire image. And I don't want to affect the entire image. I just want to affect the child here. So I have to clip that. So you could right mouse click in the gray area, and in the pop-up menu, just choose Create Clipping Mask. There's shortcut keystrokes that you can do. It doesn't matter. There's different ways of doing that. But notice there's an arrow pointing there, which means it's affecting the layer below. So again, brightness, if I want to push this down a bit, I want to push the contrast up more, and I'm going to pull the brightness down a bit like this. Now that I have that done, I'm thinking also, let's zoom in on this, that there's a little bit of light coming from here and maybe the window there a little bit, and he's a little bit on the dark side, so this is the mask. What I'm going to do is with the soft edge brush, oops, sorry about that. Make sure my brush is selected. It's soft edge. I'm going to paint in black now, and I'm just going to swipe across the forehead like this. So now you can see if I turn that on and off, it's adding a little bit of light coming from the top down. So it looks a little bit more natural. And again, I'm just going to turn off the black and white. In fact, I don't even need this anymore, so I could just delete that layer. So that's just a temporary layer right here that I'll throw in the garbage can. Get rid of that. So it's not necessary to have that. It's just to help me adjust the contrast and brightness of the image relative to the entire background right there. So hopefully that made sense. Now that I have that done, it's all I need to do is come over here to color toning, and I'm going to turn this on. Now that affected the entire image. I only want to affect him. So I'm going to take this layer, click and drag, and if I put it below the clipped layer, it should make this clipped. So now if I turn this on and off, you notice how it's bringing in the overall color tone of the background image to the subject right there. Okay, and if I feel that the subject is a little bit too bright, I can go back over here and maybe pull the brightness down a bit to readjust that. Now, optional right here is a texture. So if I turn that on, you can see what it does, which I really like that. But here's the problem. if I zoom in here, I don't like and really care for the texture on the baby's face. So what I'm going to do is go to the layer here, where it says optional texture, add a mask. So I'll come down here to add the mask, and then just click and drag and paint in black over that area just to take that texture away. So now you can see that let's zoom back in so we can look at the face again. If I turn that layer on and off by just holding the shift key down and clicking once, that's with the mask turned off, and then click again, and that's when it's turned off. So simple composite, very inexpensive background right here. Hopefully you've learned something. And by the way, if you're learning anything, if you can do me a favor to help share this out to other people with similar interests, please like the video, subscribe if you have not subscribed, hit that notification bell. Next time I upload a video, you'll get notified on that. All right, so everybody, again, you know the way I typically end, and that is let's get that camera out, let's practice, let's get creative, let's think literally out of the box. Until next time, see ya.